Hello everybody, today I'm going to be doing a review on the scale 118 Maisto 1970 Chevrolet Nova SS 396. This is a really cool model. It's actually one of my first ones, and I'm going to be mixing things up a little bit today because I'm using a different camera. This is actually my Samsung Galaxy S3. And the only reason why I'm doing that is just because I want to see how it turns out on YouTube compared to my Sony HX20V. But anyway, that shouldn't necessarily affect the quality of this video, I hope. But we'll see how it turns out. So this car costs about $27 US right now, depending on where you buy it. And of course, you can still find these in wholesale clubs. They're very common. They're still being sold. And if you do, like BJ's or Costco or wherever, I heard that Costco only has these models around Christmas time, but you can get them for like $13, which is an excellent deal on these. So anyway, it comes in two different colors, light blue and then this maroon color as shown here. And so that's about it. As far as features goes, it has full suspension, which is, you notice in the back how it kind of bounces up. Very loose suspension, which is actually kind of cool. It makes it look a little bit more realistic. Well, I wouldn't really say realistic. I just kind of like it. I don't know. And it does have fully opening doors. Now, one of the most important things about these classic muscle cars back from the 70s is admiring these, or the details on the engine. And alright, so upon the first glance, you see, oh, it has a nice chrome top to it, and it says turbojet, 396. This is a big block Chevy Nova. Very, very powerful. But as far as the rest of the detail on the engine block, it's kind of poor. This is something I noticed on a similar model. I think it was the Chevelle, that the actual headers here are kind of like rounded almost, and that's not what the real car looks like, and it doesn't seem like it raises as high from the engine block. Also, it's missing a lot of the important hoses and wires that you typically would see. It does have the battery, which is right there, and I can already see that the Galaxy has a little bit of it's a little more difficult for it to react to close-ups, but that's okay. So compared to most Maisto engines, it's pretty good, but compared to what I've seen like Wellies, not so much. But maybe I'd give it a 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10 maybe. There is chrome, well, supposedly chrome. I say chrome in quotes. Because it's more of a kind of a metallic, looks like the metallic Sharpie that I've used on some of these models. So not overly impressive just around here. This part of the door sill is just way too thick, especially since it's supposed to be comparatively sized compared to this surrounding here, which is also not chrome. The chrome pieces that do exist, like around the door, will get wiped off very easily by your fingers, so you have to be careful with that. You can see, because I've had this car for a long time, and just the way I've held it, I'd grabbed it from here, I would grab it from the bottom. That way you're not going to rub off that chrome, which I have done. Kind of the same story on the front end. Poor quality paint on the bumpers. It's a lot of fingerprints on it, starting to fade away. Typical Maisto as far as that goes. Decent taillights. We do have two characteristic pegs there. SS logo. Another SS logo there. And there's a peg in the front headlights, but it doesn't necessarily bother me because that's actually where the halogen bulb is anyway. If they are halogen, I'm not too sure what these were back then. Lining underneath the hood. And this license plate actually did come with the car. It's a vintage 1970 Michigan plate. Z78. Nova. It's not going to focus. And then 396, which is indicating the size of the engine in cubic inches. On the inside, not much to be seen, but then again, on the actual car, there wasn't much to be seen. These vehicles were notoriously basic on the inside. I don't even think this particular model has a radio, but it does have the standard stick shift sitting right there. For some reason, it's in chrome. Even the very bottom half of it. Whatever. And you can see that the seats actually have a reasonably nice pattern, although unfortunately this camera, you're not doing too well, Galaxy. I'm not too impressed overall with the camera abilities. It has a nice pattern to it that actually looks like the vinyl that you'd see in the real car. But it's just that same plastic piece. And it doesn't include anything like seat belts or any fine details like that. In the back, we have a spare tire, and that's it. It raises up, kind of in typical Maisto fashion with the beams there. And mine, as you can see, has kind of got a little bit of a gravity effect. Underneath, alright, not bad at all, especially for what Maisto is typically known for. Pretty much everything is raised from the bottom, including the transmission, you know, the chrome exhaust that goes from the engine, the leaf springs in the back, differential. It does look pretty good, I will say. And even look at the suspension. You can even see that actually it not only serves a purpose, but it also has a visual component added to it. The wheels aren't bad, however, they most certainly aren't the best ones I've seen by any stretch of the imagination when it comes to Maisto wheels. Not that impressive. It's all that one color. I mean, I guess it's not that bad, but whatever. Alright, so I think that is it for the Chevy Nova. If I left anything out, please let me know in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.